Hey guys, it's Alex from the How to iPad channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use Keynote. So Keynote is kind of like it's Apple's version of Microsoft PowerPoint. So when you open it up, you can't really see it, but in the top left there's a plus button, and when you click on that, it'll show you can create presentation, copy it, you can get it from iCloud Drive, Google Drive, and more. If you hit more, it just where you can manage it. You can turn off Google Drive if you don't want to be able to import it from Google Drive. So today I'm going to create a new presentation. There is several different presentation types. It doesn't really matter what one you choose. It's just the color pretty much that changes. Say I want to choose this one. I can take pretty much any slate I want by hitting the plus button at the bottom that you can't also see. It's in the bottom left. You hit the plus button, and this is what comes up. You can add the slides. So it only affects the color, really. So there is several things that you can do with the slides. So you can double tap it, and say you wanted to put how to iPad here, and then you wanted to put like their YouTube link or something here, and I would obviously put in the link if I wanted to. But so that's just one of the things. If you have multiple slides, you can go to the top right hand corner, not the question mark, but the one to the left of it. It's the play button, and you can play your presentation. And you can close out of that. And then if you go to the question mark, it pretty much tells you everything that I'm going to tell you today. So you can also hide that if you want. And I believe for me, the most helpful thing on here is the tools, which is next to the play button to the left of it. So you can change everything you want to. So the transitions, you can add a transition. Say you wanted this one to be, I don't know, this one will move in. And you can play the effect if you wanted to. So now that one moves in. And then you can hit done if you want to. And then if you go back into there, if you go back to the tools tip, you can find, say you have a really long presentation, you want to find the word how, you can search for it, and then you found it there, it's highlighted. And then if you close out of this, you can once again go back to there. There's presenters, notes, presentation tools, settings, set a password, print, and help. And we're not going to go to the help, or help is just basically what I'm explaining. The presenters, notes, you can have this come up for your device while you're airplaying it or showing it. So you want to say you want to put hi on here, you can play the presentation, and while it's being played, I can see that right now. So you go back to the tools. Presentation tools, I think, is the coolest thing there is, because you can put in different links if you wanted to. The soundtrack, if you have music saved on your device, you can put in music for it. So you can choose audio to anything you want, really. You can choose the type of presentation you want. If you want it just so you tap, you leave it at normal. If you want it self-playing, so you can just play it, not touch it. You can mess around with the delay, how long it takes to switch, and you can decide if it should be a loop or if you want it to restart. You can also allow a remote control, which basically is you set up a remote control on a different device, so you can have this device like plugged in, and then you can use another device to do the controlling of it. You can go into settings. You can check spelling. Say I had some wrong spelling in there, you can fix that. If you want slide numbers, you can see at the very bottom there, at the bottom here, it appears. No. And then there's guidelines. If you want those or not, it doesn't really matter. You can add it. You can turn on or off comments as you just saw me put down. And the author, you can change it. Say instead of Alex Johnson, you want John Appleseed. It doesn't really matter. You can set a password. So you want the password 1111. You have to verify the password 11. And then say you're like me and you have a hard time remembering your password, you can put in the hint if you want. And it'll save. And you can change the password if you remember your password. And there we go. You can print it if you want, and you obviously have to go through all the steps to print it. And then that's really it for that section. Now, next to the wrench, there's a share button. You can just share it many different ways. It doesn't really matter how it's shared. You just can share it. Next to that is a plus button. So say you wanted to put in a picture from camera roll, for instance. You can scroll up here and put in your picture that you want to. And then if you select the word, you can go up next to the plus button and hit there will be like a paintbrush with paint on it. You click on that and you can, hang on. You can change how it's set up. So you want an even bigger text, you can see the 2 is growing. You can change the color, so you want it to be, there we go. A different color, like say you want it that color, for instance. Change the fonts to anything you want. There's many different fonts. And then you can change it to a title, paragraph, or you can change the style. If you go and hit list, you can, say you want, it doesn't really, this is just changing the type of list. The layout, if you want, you can see it's going upwards because I'm changing the margin size. Line spacing, it'll grow bigger for the line spacing if you go down here. Or if you click on here, hit return. I don't know where that went. And then if you just hit the paintbrush without anything else, there's just like, you got text boxes, like you can change the type of text box you have, and you can change the text again, you can arrange it again. And you have to have clicked on something, because you can see, I click on the paintbrush, it says select an object before you can format it. So that's basically the formatting button. And other than that, the top left button, or the top left, there's a presentations button and an undo button. Say I wanted to undo everything I had just done, you can go all the way back, and then you hit presentations, you can see all your presentations that you've made. Bye guys.